Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if we can remain standing, bow our heads for a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters and the sick and needy. Okay, thank you. Everybody can sit back down, relax. And what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to turn it over to the presentation up here. Ralph's people up here. So they got a presentation for us. We're going to do this first, and then we'll go back into our regular meeting.
Well, here, let me thank Mike for putting this little thing together. I called Mike and wanted to see if you guys might want to take a look at some of the stuff that's cannabis, but it's all holistic. Well, if you got some connections, we might be able to get some. But anyway, a little fast story, then I'll turn it over to these guys. My son finally talked me into going up and seeing him because I got prostate. And my levels kept going up, so my son finally talked me into going up there. I went up there and met Rob and Sam, and I've been taking this, what the hell is it, Ron? It's some kind of cannabis, but it eliminated it. But I still got a PSA is 50 right now, and they can't find it. So I told them stop looking and just let's get on. But anyway, I thought maybe if you guys wanted to hear the story, if they can help you at all, we got it here. He makes it himself. It's not like you go in the store and pick it off the shelf. He'll make it for you, tweak. It is an excellent guy, and I recommend him, and I hope it can help you guys. And there you go. So I'm going to turn it over to Rob and Sam, and where's Rob at? Here. All right, you're up.
I'm not the best at public speaking, so I'm going to read from my paper, but good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samantha, and I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you here today.
Sam, can
You might.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a mic?
Is there a mic up there?
I'll actually get closer. Thank you for allowing us to do this presentation. I'm currently a student of naturopathic medicine, fitness, nutrition, yoga, and breathwork exercise. For the past 6.5 years, I've had the privilege of working with Rob. We've been doing all the gardening, formulations, and perfecting these products you see here today. His guidance has inspired me to blend my passion for cooking, baking, making chocolates, and decorating wedding cakes into creating herbal remedies, products, and so much more. In my time working with Rob, I have witnessed the amazing benefits of these products firsthand. That's another reason I'm here today. I truly believe in their results and feel a calling to spread this knowledge. I am incredibly grateful for this experience, the experiences I've gained over the years, and for the opportunity to share a passion for this subject with all of you today. I truly hope you enjoy your afternoon.
We've got one more testimony. You've heard Rob's story. We're going to give you one more testimony, and then I'm going to take over from there. So this is Zach right here.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
2015, I was diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus and ulcerative colitis. And I took all kinds of medication. I did exactly what the doctors wanted me to do, other than get my colon removed, which they wanted to do. They wanted to take my colon. So I always joke around and I tell Ralph, "You saved my ass." But I noticed it right away the first day it started working. So I've been on it now for what, 5 years? 5 years, and it's going strong, and I've been cured. The last scope I got, it was completely gone. So Barrett's esophagus is something that cannot be healed. It's just something that they tried to stop growing. something so it won't turn into esophageal. So the fact that I healed mine is completely gone is a miracle. And I just feel like if it can help me do everything that I've been able to do, heal myself inside, I feel like it can help other people too. So, but yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a crazy ride. I'm willing to answer or any questions anybody or talk to anybody about it personally, if you guys, because there's a lot of nuance to it.
Did you have increased your volume of what you were taking all those years? Like, you start out with I know my friend doing the same thing.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
they increased the power of
Yeah. So I had never done it before. And when I started out, I was kind of like, I never smoked it, I'd never done anything. So I was a little hesitant. And I waited until it was legal, recreational, because I didn't have a medical card.
Right.
So I was a little nervous to try it. I used to take it at night before I went to bed. But eventually I got used to it. It was just, I started out with a small size. It was a half the size of a grain of rice. And just that little dose, I noticed right away I had less blood. Sorry to be gross, but it's the thing that with the condition I had. But I had less blood immediately the next day. Yeah. And I tried to tell myself, like, oh, I was just gonna get better right now. The doctor's medicine was gonna work. But I kept on trying to tell that to myself, but every time it was always the constant when I started to feel better. So.
This stuff mostly is an immune builder.
Yes.
They said they wanted to remove your entire colon.
Yeah.
How come?
So I had, I want to say, it's called something crazy. It's like super mega colon. I'm sure some of you guys may have heard of it. Super mega colon inflamed ulcerative colitis.
Was it Crohn's?
Toxic. Well, it wasn't Crohn's because it was just mostly my large intestine. Crohn's is from the top to the bottom. Although I did have the Barrett's esophagus, but that was more because of hiatal hernia and acid reflux. But just taking it orally and eating the oil, it cured it. It took care of both. And I wasn't expecting it to do anything to my Barrett's esophagus. And matter of fact, like I was telling Rob, when I first started taking it, it was because kind of like my mom was on my butt about trying stuff. She knew I was going through all this, and I was taking the doctor's prescriptions and doing everything their way. And it wasn't working. It just, medicine would get me better for a minute, and then it would stop, and I would have to try something different. And these were dangerous medications, things that I'm still dealing with today, things that messed up some of my hormones, and I have like delayed immune response on things because I took medication that like changed like my T cells and things. So, but yeah, over time I can tell all of it's working. It slowly, it's a slow thing, but it's all coming back together. I'm feeling healthier than ever, and like I said, it's been like 5 years. So, yeah.
Thanks,
Anybody
Brett.
else? All right,
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
When I first met Zach, he's in his early 30s, and I'm like, what's going on with you? He's telling me you got a chance to have a colostomy bag and all this stuff with the operations. I'm like, just give us a chance, His mom was hounding him. He didn't want to do it. So finally, we talked him into it, and slowly but surely we walked him up. And he was only taking an oil that only had like 3%. But it's still, everybody's different. Some people have a higher immune system to the tetrahydrocannabinol, some people don't. So that's why sometimes one thing don't work for all. These products here are all three, and they still work because of the other cannabinoids that are mixed in them, which they kind of divert our attention away from those. But in our reality, the CBN, the CBG, all these other cannabinoids are what work together for sleep, pain, added together. In our reality, I'll start out how I come across them. As in 2007, I come down with a rare blood disease called idiopathic thrombocytopenia platelet disease. Idiopathic means they don't know how I got it or why I had it. How they ruled that out was they thought I had leukemia. They tested me, I didn't have leukemia, but I had the same effects if I had leukemia. No platelets in my blood whatsoever. 12,000 my platelet count when I went into ICU was 5,000, so they had to keep me in there until they could get it up to 40,000. They checked me for leukemia, they checked me for AIDS, they checked me for lupus, none of the above, right? So here I am, a test case now. They don't know why I've got this, but I have no platelets in my blood whatsoever. I'm 40 years old at this time. I was running a big collision repair business I owned, tow shop, salvage yard, all this was going on. And I was all of a sudden on the brink of death because a paper cut could kill me. And a bruise could kill me. I couldn't even put my arm on this table like this. I had a bruise from here to here. So now here I am, nerfed. I can't work. They put me on disability or what have you through the insurance. And then hand me my capsules, will you please, huh? And then after just a few months, this is what I was on. This is my daily dose. 40 years old. Couldn't work. Stuck in my bedroom basically in front of a computer. A guy at church told me, this was in 07 when I got sick, we became a legal state in 08 to grow it ourselves and produce the medicines and what have you. And I said, are you crazy? The doctors don't know what's wrong with me. The scientists don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, they just, and you think that it's gonna help me somehow or another, you know? I wasn't doing it at the time, same as that. I was a business owner, as a federal offense, you know, all this stuff. But now we were legal, so I kind of just blew them off. I was mad at them for even saying such a stupid thing. I went home and started doing my research. And that's when I started coming across this stuff here, which is my little museum I've collected over the last 17 years. I have a lot more, but this is what I can carry with me. And I found out, oh, Henry Ford made a car out of it in 1941, you know, 80% hemp. And this is the magazine that's in right there, the original magazine. Then I found out building materials, hemp-free, it's waterproof, fireproof, mold resistant, concrete made out of hemp particle board, you know? I mean, I started looking at all these different things, makes the very best plastic. And then I found out, wow, up until the late 30s, our doctors were prescribing this. These are all medicines. Neurological, Detroit, Michigan. That's where it was manufactured at. Cough syrup, Jackson, Michigan. All was cannabis, derived from cannabis. So then I started really getting my wheels going. I'm like, wait a minute here. You know, building materials, it's a 1918 hemp $10 bill. It's actually made out of hemp. And it's got a hemp scene right on it. It's original note. So that's a U.S. currency note made out of hemp with a hemp scene on it, with an industrial scene right next to it. So they had planned on using this into our system back then. And DuPont, Rockefeller, they had a different spin on things. They wanted cars to be made out of steel, not biodegradable materials like Henry Ford. They replaced lead and hemp oil and paint with lead. So the paint on the car is actually hemp oil. The interior, the body, is just ridiculous. It makes the best biofuel out there. It also makes high octane fuel. When you just let it rot, you can take the gas and it's high octane. And first English Bible, written on hemp. There's a hemp Bible right there from the 1800s. This is the actual sale of hemp in 1864. It's the actual receipt. Makes the best paper. Everybody knows about the hemp row. So, and then the seeds itself, and we actually sell the seeds because this seed has the most protein, it's the only food in the world that you can eat this in water and live. It literally has everything the human body needs in just the seed itself. So we've been really pushing our hemp seeds for people to add into their diet because it's so easy. No additives, all organic, a spoonful of hemp seed. You got your omega oils in you, your amino acids, your protein. Autistic children, I help them with cannabinoids, and they have a hard time eating certain foods, so we mix it into their shakes and their smoothies, and just to get some nutrition in their body because they have such a hard time with their diets. But so all these things got me thinking, you know, wait a minute, there must be something to this. I still hadn't agreed to do it yet, but when my research got a little bit deeper, I found this patent. It's a U.S. patent owned by the United States Department of Health and Human Services. It since expired in 2019, but they granted it to him in 1999, so only got a 20-year. I literally formulated my oil after this patent. I was in the trades. I'm a mechanic, a body mechanic, frame mechanic, painter. So I learned how to mix this myself. I bought a chromatograph, had the opportunity to work with a doctor for 2.5 years. So we were prescribing this from 6-month-old to 96-year-olds, nursing homes. I mean, he was writing scripts for it. He had an accident, passed away a couple years ago, so rest in peace, Dr. Callisperis. But we got a lot of research done. I mean, we were hitting it hard because he was the initial, and then we'd formulate a formula. I got a copy of this because this is the Michigan Medical Program. This is straight off their website, showing you the reasons why this will help with all these different symptoms, from arthritis to colitis to autism, chronic pain, cerebral palsy, AIDS, glaucoma, cancer. Like, how could one thing work on such a variety of elements? This right here, patent, is cannabinoids as antioxidants and neuroprotectants. That's what we use to make these cannabinoids. All different kinds of them. There's a variety of them. They focus just on because that's the part that gets you high, and they want everybody to think it's bad, but the patent is very low, really high in cannabidiol, cannabigerol, and other cannabinoids mixed together, but very little. That means you can take more quicker, get it in your body, more milligrams without getting high at all. But everybody's different, so like I have a consulting service where I'll consult with somebody, send them some samples, let them try it. They give me their feedback. I'll change it, send it back out to them. It takes me 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I hit it right on the money because at 16 years I've been making this oil and giving it to people. Now with the science, and we can get the cannabinoids isolated. I mean, there's so many things you can do. At first I wasn't able to do this stuff until 2016. I was really able to perfect this because I could get the materials I needed. And now you can get them. It's just amazing how advanced it's become just in a few years since. Wow, it's been 15, 16 years, so it's been a long time, I guess, but it's come a long way. So I was diagnosed with the blood disease, and I think the reason why I went 100% with this was because I was a guinea pig. They took my spleen out, they got me on all them drugs. I'd go in there and say, I'm not feeling right, they just add some more. I'm like, when I'm looking at this going, how do they know how this all works? You know, like, is this working against that? I mean, I was going out of my mind. By noon, I just wanted, all I could think about was, why don't I just lay here and get my $2 million policy and my kids can be taken care of the rest of their life? That's all I could think about, right? Because I didn't want to live when I was taking this. And not only that, every time I went there, they were like, oh, you got to be careful, you know, you can't. I brushed my teeth with my finger, I couldn't shave, had a big beard. You know, it was just a miserable life. And when I found this patent, and it had autoimmune disease written right into it, which was what my problem was. That's what they were calling it. Autoimmune disease is any. And this word right here, prophylaxis, I don't even know how to pronounce it right, that means preventative. They have stroke written in here, Alzheimer's written in here, Parkinson's written in here. In this particular patent, there's 2 MDs and a scientist that behind this. They don't give these away. The testing's got to be done. They've got to have proof, or you don't get that patent, you know. They tabled it this whole time, you know. They knew that it was there. And it kind of pissed me off at first because I'm like, I'm seeing all these uses for this plant that I didn't even like it because it was illegal, you know, practically. But I knew guys that worked for me used it, and they did a good job, you know, at painting and doing body work. I think most painters or bodymen are using cannabis probably, from what I found out. But anyhow, I started taking it, feeling better right away. I didn't get checked until 10 years after. I had only been to the hospital one time since 2010, one time. And they took my blood, checked my platelets, boom, 285,000 platelet count, which is perfectly fine. So I can say that maybe it was the placebo, maybe it was the fact that I wasn't taking these anymore, started to feel better, got a job just a few weeks after. And I sold my business and everything for pennies on the dollar, preparing to die pretty much. I got a job, started working, so just feeling better, and we were talking earlier about how just feeling better and having a positive attitude helps with your symptoms, you know, it helps you. Placebo works 30% of the time. So when I show this to people that are really hurt and they're really sick or stage 4, most people come to me when there's nothing else that can be done. Unfortunately, I've helped probably more people transfer than I have, you know, like Ralph's story or Zach's story, because they really, you know, went for it, followed the program. But some people halfway do it. I give it away. Some people, when you give it away, it doesn't have value to it, so they won't take it, or it doesn't, in their mind, it's not worth anything. I don't know, you know. So, but it works so well. I've been able to do that and still get good results, you know, because I don't believe people should be using things if they're not benefiting them in any way, shape, or form. We make it very affordable. So when I first started using this, I was paying $80 for 1 gram of oil. I do it for $10 now. You know, so we've gotten it down, and it's way better and way more sophisticated than what I was getting pretty much off the street. Whoever I could find had it, which was very rare 16 years ago. You know, so now it's more prevalent. You can run down to the corner store and get some of the oil. Not exactly what we're doing here, but yeah, I have noticed they're getting closer and closer. So I'm glad for that, because it's really the medicine is in these oils and these topicals. Smoking it has its benefits. Post-traumatic stress, chronic pain, amputees, different people I've dealt with, smoking it seems to work well for people like that. But the oils, we all have what they call an endocannabinoid system, and every mammal has it, including dogs, horses. So these cannabinoids are phytocannabinoids, and they fit perfectly with our endocannabinoid system. Hence, you get all these different elements working with this one particular molecule, because what it's doing is it's strengthening our immune system. And when your immune system's strong, which most of ours is weak because of the food we eat, the water we drink, now it's the air we're breathing, you know, ain't even good anymore practically. But we're not getting anything good in our body. And this thing, these cannabinoids are like a super booster for that endocannabinoid system. It fits perfectly. We've got CB1 receptors in our brain and down the back of our spine. They fit perfect with our CB1 receptors, and our CB2 receptors, as all of our other organs fit perfect. You know, so hence you get all these multiple different, you know, ailments and diseases. Seemingly, you know, I can't say cure, but he's saying cure. I mean, I say could have been my attitude, could have been whatever, but patents don't lie. You know, so I don't really got to say anything. I got to just say, hey, this is what the patent says, right? This is what the state of Michigan is saying right here. I'm not a doctor. All I've done is seen the results, including my own, from what we've done here. So we just wanted to, you know, I helped Ralph. His results were excellent, just like Zach. Couldn't believe it when I heard it. You know, he sent me a text saying my varicose office is gone. This is 2 years after he started using the medicine. You're kidding me? I thought they said it was incurable. Yeah, it's gone. He has the pictures before and after. You know, of his esophagus. It's amazing what happens. So. But I've seen hundreds of results like this. You know, amazing results, and it's pretty much my story. And we're here to help people. I feel like I've been given a second chance. It's been like 17 years now since I started this, and I'm just trying to give everybody else the opportunity to use the medicine, and I've really dedicated my life to it. So we grow it, process it, right on our farm there. We got a lab, processing center. Any questions?
Yeah, you recommend taking some whatever daily, or?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. It seems that
More or less like a coffee, what you do, like a coffee, or?
Well, it depends on what's going on. Like if you just have problems sleeping.
I'll just get old.
Yeah, you probably don't need to have it, do you? If you don't have any underlying ailments or cancer or anything like that. Actually, these products work well for sleeping. If you've got a problem sleeping, our rest formula here, primarily CBN, is like a natural ambient. It knocks you right out. Though the good thing about this, no negative side effects.
Thumbs up,
Zero.
community.
Yeah.
That's what, I like that.
Yeah, and if you just got like minor pain or pain formula that comes in the drop form, perfect.
Okay.
Our topicals, you usually can start feeling it right away. Kind of like what Zach said, he felt it the next day. You know, everybody's a little bit different. I noticed from working with so many people, especially with the doc, everybody's got a different tolerance level. You know, so we start you out with these products. If they hit the money, great. You know, then we don't have to go anywhere else. If they're not doing it for you, that's when I get into custom formula. And it's just, how do I know? I'm giving it to thousands of people. I used to have 200 people a day coming in the store, you know, and I just can't even tell you how many, you know, so.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
Well, you don't have a degree or anything in chemistry, so you did this all on your own.
Again.
I gotta say what you've done. Next thing, will it help with dementia? People who have dementia.
According to this patent, it will.
When you said that.
Yeah, it's written right there.
So how would you treat?
Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, HIV, dementia.
I don't, there's probably a point of no return for someone who has dementia.
You know,
Is there something that can slow down even better?
it can, because we were getting into the nursing homes.
Right.
A couple of dementia patients, and they noticed a tremendous difference. And then we would try the drops. If the drops weren't working, we would make gummies for them. We would do whatever we could do to get in the system or what they'd like. But we did, yeah, they'd start remembering people's names.
What formula or what product did you use for dementia?
You know, I have to find out
Okay.
who I'm working with, what their age is, what's any other underlying problems going on. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like how so many people have kind of learned this by doing it. The state of Michigan allowed me to give this to people and like, help people like with the license, you know, that I purchase every year. And in 16 years now, and no regulation. That's what's crazy. It's so safe that they have no regulation now.
Now, my next question is that if an athlete uses this, or let's say, people in sports or whatever,
Sure.
does this show up in a test?
None of these products on this table do, no. And that's where we gotta be very careful with first responders and like different people that can't have it in the system whatsoever. These cannabinoids work just as well without the high. And that's what's amazing about it. Now, I'm gonna tell you that the formula for that pack has a small amount. And it does seem like in Ralph's case with the cancer, Zach's, with the Barrett's esophagus, in my own case, with the idiopathic, that we all use different formulas,
So it could be picked up by sophisticated testing.
Only if you have these products, no.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Yep,
So these
so,
will help animals with body sore or, unknown.
absolutely. Yep, hip dysplasia, cancer, and we've done several cancer treatments for dogs. I mean, people, believe it or not, spend more money on their animals and stuff most of the time. But, yeah, we've helped several cases, dogs that were poisoned, we helped them through with the oils,
How would you know the amount to get, like, between a dog and a cow or a horse or whatever?
It goes by weight of the dog, and we've got instructions when we get a little card, it kind of gives you an idea of what to start with.
And how long of a period do you think it takes?
Everybody's different, but with animals, people seem to notice right away, like if they got anxiety, just let the little dog run around with their box of anxiety. We had a slew of people come in the store before 4th of July, because their dogs are gonna be freaking out because of the noises and stuff. Calm them right down, fireworks, different things like that. Hip dysplasia, it's, they got an endocannabinoid system too, so basically it strengthens their immune system the same as it does ours, and hence our immune system is designed to repair our bodies when something goes wrong.
There are a lot of companies out there that are saying you do.
There's a lot, obviously there's a lot of companies that do this. I don't really know anybody that's custom formulating for people like me. I'm not saying there's not, I'm sure there is. Bryan, California, Denver, people that are doing it kind of underground like I am, like just not trying to get out there in anybody's face because that is a government patent, I gotta rub it in their face too much.
Around your stuff, you don't use any pesticides, you don't use,
No.
it's all clean.
It's all organic, yeah, that's one thing and even 80% of what we do, we grow ourselves. When we do buy something, it's always sourced from something that's organic, you know, fair labor, even our coffees and stuff like that. You know, we just trying to just do a little bit better than the average.
Now, if that can't expire, can't you just renew it and take it on as your own?
You can't, once it's expired, anybody can do it. Anybody can do what I'm doing right now.
So you got the patent.
The United States Department of Health and Human Services owned that. It expired in 2019. 20 years you're done. Anybody can do it. They can't repatent it. So there's 1,300 different patents on cannabis throughout the world. But that particular one's what got me to say, I'm gonna try this. The United States patent had my disease written in it. Even seeing that could have given me the placebo I needed to get through it, right? But I mean, every time I go to the doctor, I just hear negative, so I was continuously negative. These were making me the same way. I knew that if the disease didn't get me, this was gonna get me. I just kind of knew that. So I didn't have a choice. I didn't know what I had. I watched the Rick Simpson story. There's a doctor out of Israel since 1969. He's been making this oil, Raphael McCollum. He's the main reason why I did this, because he's going through the endocannabinoid system. Why does this patent work? It's because we're putting so many cannabinoids in our body, it's just boosting our immune system. Like yes, this bottle right here contains 2,000 milligrams. This bottle should last the average person like a month. They're taking this in 2 days. Boosting, I mean, I'm really just overloading their system with the cannabinoids in order to boost the system as quickly as I possibly can. So the average person with cancer or debilitating disease is all very close to 700 to 1,000 milligrams a day is what I got. That's why you get the results with that same. But most people are just doing this. You know, this is what you get, this is what you're taking. You get good results for it, but it would be expensive if you had to buy this every 2 days, you know. So we do it in a concentrate form, we get you the cannabinoids you need, and it goes from anywhere from $3 to $10 a day. Dealing with a debilitating disease like growing myself.
I'll take that.
So far, I went to the doctor about a week ago, took another PET scan. And the PET scan results come back, and they couldn't figure out PSA's going up, but they can't find it. So I asked the doctor, I said, what do you think of this scan, you know, the holistic medicine? She said, I don't know. So she leaves the room, and her nurse is still in the room, and she said, Mr. Mayor, I don't know what exactly you're doing, but you keep doing exactly like you're doing. So, and they had a consultation with about 5 or 6 other oncologists. So, and every board, they can't find it yet. I don't know, stop looking at shit.
My friend, he is everyone taking your house medication.
Yeah.
He's got the lung asbestos, and he literally lost his tumor. And they only hit one. You're at Olympics. What we out having, I mean, it's doing great.
Yeah, he said that his vitals are better now.
Yeah.
His drainage went down from like
Oh, the drainage,
850
he's got no
milligrams.
blood. They had blood before.
No blood in the drainage anymore. So he's
Who's
seeing
that,
himself.
Steve?
Steve, yeah.
And I called Steve and told him about this. He was upset, but most people are.
Yeah.
I said, listen, try it. You know,
It
I don't think
goes through all
I'm
that chemo and crap. I wouldn't do that right away. I'd rather start off like this.
Yeah.
It does help.
See, people don't believe it. I mean, they, you know, and I'm skeptical too. And I say, you know, I've tried all this shit. You can right on what I did so far. But anyway, he forgot to tell you also, when we sell some of this stuff, we're gonna get a discount, that's all gonna go back into the retiree loan. And we got a couple other ideas, if you guys wanna do this, you know, so I'll let him talk as soon as he is done.
That's good.
Ron, touch on a little bit about what we talked about, maybe having a retiree.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, tell me what you did before up there.
Through my experience, it was just not a good experience. I don't know if it's just mine or that, you know, with the doctors and tests and surgeries and the way I was treated. I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way than this. You know what I mean? It's like so uncomfortable. And after I started feeling better, actually got into business because of this disease I had, I'm like, I want to resort to where I can bring people into nature outside of these square rooms that are white and the lights and the smells. And I want to bring somebody in a more comfortable setting and start treating them there. So I come up with this wellness resort idea that I've been working hard on for 16 years, almost attained it. My doctor, who's a 25% partner of mine that I was working with, we had a 1,200 acre resort in contract a couple years ago, and that's when he slipped it all off some ice. Hit his head out of the last week, so we weren't able to be at the resort because of that. But we were basically going to go up there and start taking people up there, put them in cabins, and treat them with these types of medicines and modern medicine. We're not against that. We're not against using technology by any means whatsoever. He was a DO. Samantha's father's an MD. He was coming up there with us, to start helping people. We plan on doing the same thing. My brother's like, I got a whole bunch of guys dedicated their whole life to the trades. Now they're dealing with all these pains and diseases and different things. I want to do something for them. So our plans are to build one of these, what we call a wellness resort. You can live there full time, part time, Airbnb, whatever. But we plan on bringing people up there and have them go through their cancer
But
treatment.
not too, I don't need but it's not gonna be so far up north. We found a couple pieces of property, maybe 500 acres, it's got a beautiful lake on it. What else have we got?
Just the lake, we're gonna grow our own food, be all organic, kind of like what we do. We do all this already. And on top of the medicines that we use, and then with basically the best health care you can possibly get, the best food you can possibly eat, the water, the energy.
But the guys will have, if you want, now this is just, I'm going through this shit. When I came the last couple times, I seen a bunch of guys, we worked 50 years out of this damn shit, so we're all beat up. So I told Ron, I said, maybe we can buy a piece of property, the retirees club will own the property, each individual will, if they can build whatever they want. There's some nice affordable houses, like a little cabin, 2-bedroom. Everybody have a little piece of the, if you want to. I just will sometimes go to that Rob said that. It could go, we could have the carpenters, but it would all be owned by the retirees. We're not making a dime off this shit. And some of the smaller homes are what, 60, 70,000? And they're nice homes, put them together fast. But that's something later on. And Mike has been really good enough that he's all for whatever can help you guys. I want to thank Mike for that too. But that's what we're trying to do. If you guys want to do it, if you don't want to do it, then you can sit back and just go there. But I figure everybody can go up there and still have play basketball, fish, hunt, whatever you want, snowmobile, 4-wheeler, or whatever you want to bring kids up there during the summer, grandkids, or whatever the hell you want to do. But that's you might need to do that. I'm talking to some of these providers. Let them come up with some cash. We can do it.
That's kind of how that's our ultimate goal, is to get a place like that, and we try to be manufacturing that site. Heard?
I want to say about my option.
Sure. Did you grab one of these?
But anyway, Mike, I think Rob, how much more you got? But these guys are
One of these people, we're going to be